a lot in terms of his combat skills. You know, his adaptation's still there. But then again, cypher's been looking really good, like in the last couple of matches, you know, against Dramus and against Chain earlier on in the winners bracket. It's been looking so good, and it's hard to bet against DaHanG, you know, 9 times out of 10. But this time round, I do feel like cypher should edge it, but it probably will go to a map number 3. If not, then if it is a 2-0, the scorelines are going to be very close.
A 2-1 is the safe prediction, I think, and my money's on cypher right now. I mean, there's always a bit of a personal note there where I'd always love to see cypher do well, because it's always a wonderful story. Cypher has this extensive fan base. He's a real fan favorite for good reason. And when it comes to a finals, you always want to see him ascend beyond what he did before. And he's not the most consistent player on finals in Quake. And I'd love to see him get as far as he can go, you know? But as we're now opening up into Vale of Nath, we're going to be hitting hard already, as it's going to be that Death Knight, newly buffed, versus that Ranger, the old faithful. Let's jump in. Quake 1, boys.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of Death Knight, which is nice to see since the buff. We are going to start off with cypher's POV. Let's see exactly what shenanigans he's up to. DaHanG, sadly for him, misses that first rail. cypher's burnt a light. That's a height advantage, just waiting to see exactly where DaHanG's going to go. Good direct, a little bit damage as well. Afterwards, uses that flame strike to go straight back up. He has nowhere else to go. Yeah. Do you know what, Ryan? You couldn't say words better than I could. As you're absolutely right. cypher already at 1-0. Nice, clean frag. If he picks up the heavy, it's just going to make matters even worse. And he's already got the bigger stack as he's pushing in. He's going to try and stop DaHanG getting the mega. He does get it, but he should still be able to take him down. But it's just been a little bit more cautious and doesn't want to take too much damage going on top.
Now DaHanG needs to try and slow things down just a little bit, as a highly aggressive cypher is looking to finish the job. No armor for him, so this is going to be really scary, as we can see. Flame strike, it's back! But not necessary, as that rocket. Fantastic, blow the leg off. Ugh, disgusted. 2 frags to 0 now. cypher, he's off to a fantastic start. You know, we've only just had a minute, and DaHanG, unfortunately, we wouldn't have seen it from checking out cypher's point of view. DaHanG messed up the orb towards heavy.
Oh, we shouldn't be fumbling at this stage. It's already been 90 seconds. cypher, slight stack. And now just waiting to find out what exactly DaHanG is up to, where he's going to rotate around, what path is he going to take. And cypher's doing a good job here, just having a little look around here and there, not exactly doing a full flank, but just trying to keep the height advantage he's got by making sure he's in a position to contest both of these items. Good heavy pickup from cypher, very clean. And he's trying to push into with that advantage he has. Good first rail, and this is his chance to maybe make something happen there. Will he go for the telly? No, he will not, but DaHanG assumed he would, and actually dropped down a little bit too early there. So cypher, good play from him, just baiting him to go and actually drop down for that health orb, rather than actually going for the telly, going on the chase.
It has been a rather shaky start for DaHanG so far, as cypher leads the charge, gets a fantastic rail off spawn, makes that 2. 4-0. And unfortunately catches him once more, but DaHanG is prepared, ready. With the orb in play and a rocket spawn, we are able to delete the remaining stack, because it's now going to be 4-1. But so much of this map left to go. Is this an opportunity for DaHanG? Goes for some pre-fire rockets just in case. cypher pushes forward the teleporter. This mega, such an important task now. And we might be able to set the wheels in motion. Flame strike gone for 20 seconds. Pretty much an even split on the abilities, actually. 2 champions where their abilities mean a great deal. The mid-air, the rocket jumps straight back up. I do not think cypher was prepared for that.
I don't think he was. DaHanG played a lot more differently, because he only had rockets and that was it. He didn't have an LG, didn't have a rail, didn't have a tri-bolt to try and push out exactly what cypher could be up to. Good flame strike as he went through the telly. This is what I'm talking about. Really good use of the Death Knight in terms of that flame strike, not only to contest for items, but just a good power play in order to push in and get some damage done. So far so good. cypher, massive stack. Heavy is still up, but he's just using that battle for nutrition, just trying to get a little bit more heavy than he would like. Now he's got that top mid control, just waiting for that next mega. The items are heavily segregated. Mega will be up in the next 10 seconds, and it depends on how DaHanG is going to play this out.
The aggressive push, and cypher with no flame strike in sight. DaHanG knows there should be a green light to push forward. However, not enough to stop cypher from taking the mega. And there is that gigantic split between the two items. DaHanG definitely in harm's way. The high ground belonging to cypher, who's looking to prevent anything he can at this point. DaHanG trying to make his presence known, avoiding the flames, but not able to avoid the inevitable LG to follow. As now we're about to hit that 5-minute mark already, and cypher's got a solid start to work on. DaHanG a spawn, able to take this rail, but unfortunately not a lot left on this map to take, so he has to be very careful down on the bottom.
Yeah, he only did 25 of that flame strike, but it did its justice where he just basically used it to get DaHanG out of position and put him in the position he would like him in, and managed to finish him off doing that without really barely moving a muscle. cypher though, good LG from him. You saw DaHanG a little bit overzealous going for that heavy. Good all, but sadly for him, cypher's already gone through, but DaHanG chose the perfect moment to go through that telly, and DaHanG knows that he's going to go straight for those rockets on spawn. Uses the flame strike, but it's just not going to be enough, as it will be on fire for a little bit, but he's going to pick up the mega, pick up the light, and now he's back to square one. Still got 5 minutes left, and already now he's just realised that cypher might have already gone across on the opposite side of the map. So good start from cypher, but DaHanG's making a good comeback here.
Highly aggressive refrag attempt there from cypher, who again getting caught. Prediction rockets just to try and shut down this mega being the next goal. cypher is being highly aggressive right now, and it doesn't always seem to be the play. As now another 100 damage rocket makes the perfect call out. cypher can't resist but take a rocket. As now he's about to get flame strike. You know, that weapon and flame strike combined, you need very little else if you spring a trap on a map as close quarters as this, but I fear cypher might be getting a little bit predictable. DaHanG is calling it out.
Yeah, this is not good at all, especially against such a strong adaptive player such as DaHanG. Both players are known in the Quake scene for reading their opponent good. Return rail there from cypher, even though DaHanG hit that first one, but DaHanG is the person in the position in the driver's seat to go straight through. DaHanG didn't really take too much damage there, so it's looking quite clean. Only problem is cypher's only got a tri-bolt to his name. And you saw there, oh, he's got the LG as well, excuse me, I thought he only picked up the tri-bolt there, but DaHanG, rightly so, has pulled back, picked up the light, and this is a matter of what he's going to do against cypher next. Does have a height disadvantage, but nice 40 damage there with the rockets. He's pushed him back, tried to wait a little bit for him to go for the telly, but cypher's decided to pull back, go for the light near that rocket room, and he's going to try and push through. Oh, it wasn't a predictable play. He doubled back to see if he can catch him, but you know, doing that, he took 88 damage, so cypher needs to back away for the time being and just try and get some lights and try and recover.
The time spent backing away has given full control to DaHanG with the orb. Actually, a bit of a misplay from DaHanG. Tries to teleport in. He's done.
Oh no!
Can't quite pick up the health. Now, not being able to get the orb on the staircase, was trying to shut off cypher's escape. Teleported narrowly too early. Thankfully, can refrag right as this mega spawns. So, potential disaster avoided, in cypher again for another time, just pushing forward, fresh off spawn, trying to get a rocket. That is not the first time DaHanG got an easy pickup there, and now he has the lead, folks.
Yeah, earlier on from DaHanG, that was a really bad blunder from him, but at least he traded the frag out afterwards. But it should have been his anyway. It should have been much cleaner, and I think most of us would have expected it. But still got 2.5 minutes left. DaHanG is the one with the lead. You see there, cypher was just trying to wait for that mega, but it's already been burnt out. So now cypher is the one who manages to tie things up. Still holding that height advantage, trying to wait for the light. Manages to pick it up. Heavy has come up in the next few seconds, but will cypher go straight forward? Yes, he will. But the mega is up in the next 10 seconds, which he has plenty of time to contest for. But how does he want to do it? Does he want to try and go for the telly and take a big risk, which he has done? He waited long enough, and DaHanG didn't expect him to go through, but will his LG be better? Only slightly. DaHanG is just backed away, but cypher's after blood. He really wants to try and finish off this frag. Will he be able to? He knows he's dropped down, but how far? As DaHanG's picked up the light and the health bubble, gone back for the other two, and the light is already back to his default stack here, Brian.
And that's going to be enough to try and fight for this heavy. The question is, who's going to get it first? The
no!
but again, a missed time! A consistent problem here for DaHanG. That is not the first time he was inches away from his destination. And for another point, Lethal, it's cost him a frag. This could be the beginning of the end. Caught on the trampoline. And that is not how you want to lose out on 2 frags. When DaHanG was in a perfect position. A big push being made from cypher, who takes another one. For those wondering, this is in fact cypher's server as we close out this map. For those that might be wondering, if you ever wonder, pay attention to the bottom left of the screen. You'll see the server that is being played as we speak.
Yeah, momentum swing heavily in cypher's favor. And with all the experience underneath cypher's belt, he knows not to play passive or be extra cautious in any way. If you've got that huge advantage in terms of stack and position, you know to make something happen. And what a great rail. That surely is going to be the winning frag of this map. Is still DaHanG going to go for the trade, still gets taken down from the flame strike, from the LG. Great stuff there from cypher.
Incendimus, my dude. Being able to catch that situation, the damage, insane stuff. And cypher can get fragged now, and it's not really going to mean anything. Revenge is one thing, but when the map goes to cypher in this first, looking to get some bonus frags, perhaps. But as we're looking at 4 frags in 15 seconds, not possible. But let's talk about that. I mean, DaHanG, normally known for being an extremely clean player, efficiency. Unfortunately for him, we saw some rare blunders, and they were a regular occurrence. I think there were 3 separate failed orbs that were a bit of a disaster. You wouldn't have seen it, but at the very beginning of that map, DaHanG tried to, from rail, throw the orb and take heavy, where he got stuck on the map. Wasted opportunity, was far behind after that. And then the more obvious ones, when he's taking the fight near LG, tries to go up near the staircase that would have completely suffocated cypher's escape attempt, but instead teleports himself onto the acid, is on fire, a bad situation. And then the more obvious mistake near heavy, where he teleports frames too early and is not able to take the heavy before a fight. And these are things that will frustrate DaHanG. We know that DaHanG is often his own biggest critic. It is a shame to see the end of the map go the way it did, but he's a very self-admitted player when it comes to mistakes, and no doubt he can shake that off going into map 2.
Yeah, what makes it good from a player from good to great is admitting your own mistakes and trying to work out how to rectify them. Literally, the 2 main blunders DaHanG made, I know it sounds so simple, but literally it's the actual orbs from the Ranger from DaHanG. You know, the first one being the fact that he actually orbed up to the staircase to try and do damage and land on the staircase to finish him off cleanly, and it should have been clean because he had some much bigger stack, and then ended up actually trading it off. And then the second one was the fact that he tried to orb for the heavy, but he mistimed the orb. So those 2 small mistakes pretty much cost him and gave him the cypher the momentum. But looking at the damage you saw there, the map presence, cypher 1022 more damage and 63% rail. Ridiculous.
A thoroughly impressive showing, and it was for me, just a constant slugfest on the side of Death Knight, and I like that play. The abilities were a huge part of those fights every time, where the cypher was waiting for the orb and reacting accordingly. DaHanG getting such a tricky push that before cypher can even react, I mean, that was explosive. But no time like the present, as now there is Corrupted Keep in our future. Strog versus Galena. Cypher going in with that Galena, who both these champions have been fantastic, proven on this map, and the lack of rail. Now, rail was not the absolute game changer here. You know that you're going to get, again, a very similar vein to Veil. We are going to have some heavy hitting encounters coming up for this, and cypher, known for being that really aggressive player, especially on a map like this. He's feeling that momentum and playing phenomenally well, making significantly less mistakes than DaHanG was making. So in his current shape, I think set up to maybe even be able to 2-0 if he can take this Corrupted Keep. It'd be a great result for him.
It'll be good for his stamina as well. You know, he's managed to reset his mentality after the last series, and it's, you know, it's getting late. It's very difficult. There's only so much he can continue doing. So I think the 2-0 would be good. Just got to make sure and correct to keep when he has any kind of advantage. Keep his distance. Use that heavy machine gun to the best of his ability. He can definitely rely on his aim more than anything. He's got very good tracking. You saw earlier on Bale in some of those engagements. His combat skills was a bit better on certain circumstances. But here we go, second map. So cypher is up 1-0. And we're going to see if he can take this 2-0 or if DaHanG has got something to say about it.
Our standard start, not much to say about it just yet. However, the beautiful tri-bolt, we have a thing or two to say about that. That was just a perfect timing there. Almost maximum damage on a full speed Strog. That is an impressive beginning, but what does it mean? Cypher, a chunky stack, no damage taken in return yet. Another good call out on where DaHanG is going to be lying in wait. And now as these main items spawn, objective number 1, what's it going to be? Heavy, it seems, as DaHanG trying to force his way forward. Cypher does take a pretty chunky rocket, but thanks to the totem, is able to heal up and take heavy. He hasn't been able to trade off the items though. They have just taken it, but that could have been a Cypher pickup. I think he wants to just take some free damage. DaHanG is absolutely able to fight fire with fire in terms of damage so far. And a big push that maybe Cypher was not prepared for. Right round the corner, just like that.
He wasn't prepared for that at all. He didn't have a heavy machine gun. As if DaHanG didn't have one, which meant that all he wanted to do was try and pressure him. And he knew that Cypher was going to be hanging around a little bit longer than usual and overstay his welcome because he's waiting for him to push from that with the heavy machine gun. And you saw there Cypher was a little bit surprised he came at him so quickly. So DaHanG, with a slight advantage here, up 1-0. It's already been 90 seconds. DaHanG with that heavy machine gun is going to be looking to keep his distance, only slightly. You can see there has done a fair bit of damage to Cypher, but Cypher's returned almost equal damage. That is one position that Cypher did not expect, but he's picked up the heavy, managed to heal from that totem, so that's a good strategy. Cypher's coming straight in with the LG, and now he's going to be able to pick up the Mega on top of that.
Tricky encounter there, DaHanG trying to get as much damage as he can and basically gets fat 0, which means that fresh off taking that Mega on spawn means that DaHanG, this Pika is a good opportunity, especially with that. However, Cypher, healthy enough to push forward, but chooses to back off and is able to survive. Thank you very much, Totem. DaHanG, the best he would have got there was denying the heavy, but Cypher again with the pickup and only 20 seconds left on the next. This Mega, oh, DaHanG steals it away. Can he secure the frag though? No, he can't, DaHanG. Cypher must have been confident he was going to push through that teleporter. Completely ignoring him there.
Yeah, he was. He only had probably about 15 more HP in comparison if you include the armor. I don't think he expected him to push like that, but it doesn't matter now. That's already in the past. It's all tied up between two. DaHanG just looking to restack. Does have to peek if he needs to use it. Heavy's been picked up. Items aren't segregated enough for Cypher to actually be able to push and contest both. But DaHanG is just waiting patiently. He does have that heavy machine gun still, waiting to see how Cypher's going to flank in. Good rocket from Cypher, good peek, but he's going to push in, and look at the amount of damage which Cypher actually took there. And DaHanG didn't really take much damage for himself. If he takes up that totem on the left side, that's going to help him greatly, just to keep the totems in check for later.
Cypher having to slow things down, play the information game. As timing on the items at the very least can drop down and do a absolute load of damage. And the extra obstacle that the totem provides, making that fight just a little bit better for Cypher. However, armor will be the aim of the game here. DaHanG will be well aware of just how much damage he did in that fight, and this is a horrible position to be stuck in. DaHanG using this opportunity to try and push and maybe take this heavy and get some control back on the board. He'll be able to slide right back in. He has timing on Mega. I like this choice from DaHanG. Back up, take the heavy, and now enforce himself back over here and force Cypher away from the Mega as well. Full control now for the American.
Yeah, DaHanG needs to keep away from him as much as possible. Valana's predicted rockets, his heavy machine gun. He needs to keep his distance. He's in no enable position to contest some of his items, but now that I've said that, like I mentioned just now, the defensive rockets and the heavy machine gun did itself justice, and DaHanG didn't really retaliate with much returning damage. Pika comes in, but just feeds him a little bit of info, not really much damage taken. Picks up the Mega, and now he's already on the flank. Yeah, sure, DaHanG picks up the light, but is it enough? No, it's not. As Cypher manages to survive, nice clean fight from him, and we're still just barely on the first half of this second map, and good heavy machine gun shots there from Cypher. It was quite a difficult angle to hit from, but now he's equalised the stack. Not anymore after picking up that heavy. And he's got to find what DaHanG's up to. He can contest this next Mega after the next few seconds. He's throwing the totem on purpose in place. He does dive on it, but it's already too late as the Pika tried to do a bit of damage before he goes onto the Mega, but it doesn't matter now as we've now got 5 minutes remaining.
Just feels like Cypher's LG always turns up when the chips are down. And in such a crazy instance, looking for rocket damage. Can't hit its mark again. Cypher making sure he's always early when this heavy spawned. It allows him to set up maybe. Not that he had a totem in this instance, but as long as he's there before DaHanG, the fact that DaHanG can quite truly just slide in and out in the blink of an eye and take one of those items, Cypher isn't giving him an opportunity. There's been a real shutdown taking place and a uncharacteristically low frag game. That rocket was absolutely sublime. And he sets up for potential of more. 5 seconds for heavy, but definitely not expecting DaHanG to come swinging around that corner.
No, he certainly didn't indeed. It's DaHanG directly underneath him, has the stack. But Cypher's going to try and challenge him for this Mega. Good first rocket. This is Cypher's opportunity to pick up that Mega. He took a direct in the process, and what a peeker to tie things up. And what is Cypher going to do now? He does spawn in the red room. Luckily for him, DaHanG's made the assumption he's going to go from rockets to light. But it doesn't matter now. As Heavy's coming up in the next few seconds. How is Cypher going to try and pick this up? Will he be able to even? As he's kept DaHanG back so much. This is Cypher's chance to gain the lead, and he has done. Good chase there from Cypher. Good rotation round. And he still has that totem in his back pocket, as well as the Mega. Look at the stack here, Ryan.
In the blink of an eye, too. You go into a fight estimating how much damage you're likely to take, and that had to be maximum of maximum. That DaHanG pushes forward, and by the time he decides to back off, it's too late. There's no way he's going to outrun a super shotgun with his name on it, and now there's not much of this map left to go. A minor lead for Cypher, but a lead all the same. And the damage landing from that totem gives him the information. I know exactly where he is, which results in a free, uncontested heavy, and a chance to push forward again. Swaps to the rocket, but takes so much damage before he even has a chance to fight back. DaHanG mentioned in the interview before, you know, his matchup against Wenger, it felt like almost every encounter he'd taken a bunch of damage first, and that's just a hard situation to come back from. We're starting to see elements of that rear their head again, Lethal, but now it's Cypher.
Yeah, during the later stages of this match, you can kind of see that DaHanG has kind of slid into some of these engagements unprepared. Cypher now still got that huge stack, and his LG, look at that tracking, ridiculous. Gets another totem down just to be safe rather than sorry. Tried to go for the Mega, but it looks like DaHanG decided to back off at the last second in case Cypher does go for it, but he still has that stack advantage. He's doing so much damage in the red room here. Even the Peeker does a fair amount, but he's picked up the light, so all that damage, he needs to try and back away as Cypher's already nearly re-healed. So he's going to look to see if he actually pushes through after the heavy, which he doesn't. He hasn't actually gone for the telly, but he's going to go bottom mid instead. But will he be able to clean him up? Does some nail damage, not enough to take him down, but it's done a lot of damage to DaHanG in the process as he's picked up the Mega. And this could be very close here, right? We've only got 2 minutes left.
Sitting around Mega Point during that fight when he was in fact early. When he dies, there was still 3 seconds of it to spawn. Now, I was talking about the benefit of using Galena on this map, especially the way Cypher is, being so brawl heavy. You're going to take damage, which means you're soaking up those light healths, which means that by Galena taking that health, shaves off cooldown for those totems, and the totems can be such a thorn in the side of anyone. It can be so frustrating to figure out, like, what is the stack this Galena's working on? Are they weak? Can I push? Have they dropped the totem? Do they have multiple totems that I just haven't seen yet? Opens up so many questions, but we can see already there has been a distinct change in pace. DaHanG is walking around looking for Cypher, but Cypher, he's sitting on Tribolt. He's straight up just sitting pretty. The defensive rocket jumps down a bit too early. Ironically, could have stayed up there if he knew, but I mean, he had such little information and he tried to play it safe. The 1 minute warning. Cypher, he set up shop significantly early though, I have to say.
Yeah, he was in the perfect position earlier, but he can go back in that position though if he wants to, because that's one of the most perfect choke points to stay in. You're playing against an opponent with such a huge stack, but the peak is not going to help. He's taking so much damage, but he hears him up there. He knows he's just trying to play mind games, making DaHanG thinking he's going for rockets, but actually he's still on Tribolt. But what's he going to do now?
He is straight up going to do this for 30 more seconds if he can.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time. He's got a massive stack here. DaHanG's still got 25 seconds to work with, and even if he picks up the Mega, that's both items done and dusted now, unless it goes to sudden death. Cypher's just choosing his paths wisely.
But this is that point of corrupted keep. When it's a minute left and someone has to play that retreating game, they start to set up shop on this bend. It can be so hard to chase, and he makes the call out. The totem gets dropped too far away. And now DaHanG on the warpath. Can he find it? 2 seconds on the clock. The 100 damage, less for the damage and more for the knock-up, is going to result in Cypher taking another map. And that is where the GGs will roll out. Phenomenal finish, but DaHanG, he just needed maybe 5 more seconds. That rocket at the end was so good, though. Not only the fact that it was direct, but because it just knocked off his momentum. He could